I woke up this morning with this intense sadness, with this sorrow in my heart, even though I had an amazing, beautiful morning. Here I was, 30 minutes into it crying. And I'm sharing this story because it's not my story. It's just my experience of the story, and it's happening collectively. And yes, it is around the eclipse, but this message is really timeless whenever this story happens to come in your experience. Because really, this story is about allowing a new relationship with fear and stepping through the door of our new life. And we've been working on ourselves for enough time where when fear was kind of this last straw. And now we're coming into this freedom, into this new relationship with fear, and we don't know what this is. So I want to give you a little context to understand how I got here today. For the past 2 weeks, I've been working through fear, but I've been working through fear in a way that I haven't done before. I realized for years I've been in this sophistication of fear because we really like things to be as sophisticated and as tricky from the core as possible. And of course, we want the people who talk about these type of subjects to also be very qualified and have all sorts of diplomas. And and I'm not bashing any of that because really I'm super grateful. The person that I was when I was, allowing all these self-help processes and people, I'm grateful for every single one of any session or any time that I spend in that mode because it got me here. And that's what that person needed at that time. I'm just saying from where I am today, looking back at my past, of all the self help things I did to go through these nuances of fear. And I pause and I say, wow, what a circus. What a circus this is, because instead of having the trust in ourselves and looking at something and say, oh yeah, that's fear. So why don't I spend some time with my fear? No, I call it, negative self-talk and self-sabotage and procrastination and rationalization and distortion and dissonance and all these things, and create a whole discipline around this distortion, this fractal of at the base of it is just fear. And again, the complexity is big. And yet, when you arrive at this point, it's like, wow, it is actually very simple. And all those fractals are because of fear. Well, when you have this relationship now, and it's because you were able to sit with this fear and have the desire to get to know it instead of eradicate it from your being, right? Instead of get it away from me. You're sticky. I want you to stick to something else. You're poison. No. What are you? And when you allow that question, that openness, and the non-judgment, the full acceptance, the curiosity in pureness of what is this fear that I have with me, I truly just want to get to know you. And that's a big thing. Another small parenthesis here, because I came to three quick definitions for me, right? Like what fear is, right? And one of them is a learned lack. The second one is separation, right? And the third one is this attachment to certainty. And they're all great. They all really help me identify and call it in the moment when I find it in myself. But really, in the end, if I were to summarize even that, it would be the fear of the unknown. If it's unknown, we completely freeze. And even these definitions, like a lack is an unknown. I don't know how it feels to be rich. So it's a lack and I want it. The separateness, right? I'm in fear because I don't know what this is. I'm not in the all with the all awareness. So that fear comes over. And even what did I have? The attachment to certainty, right? That's another way to say this fear of unknown. So it really comes down to when you sit in your chair with your fear, the first easiest way is to introduce yourself. Oh, I'm Anka, and you are, and allow that fear to show you like what it is about. What does it want from you? Maybe it really wants to be your friend, and you're so fearful of the unknown that you're not even allowing that thing that's in your life to come in. And so here we are with our new friend, our fear, a whole new relationship starting. And you're about to step into a different way of living. And oh my God, I have to show you this. I pulled this card this morning. It's from Rumi Oracle, Alana Fairchild. And it is Beyond the Threshold of Fear. And I about fell off my chair, of course. But she's this good all the time. So with this card, we were really at this threshold of a new life in a way that we don't know how it is. And how I'm understanding this sadness, this sorrow, it's like the Three of Swords, that you are mourning the old you, and we're detoxifying the sophistication that we appreciated, we lived by, we strived to be this intelligent, sophisticated, very complex guru on all these certain topics that are happening with us, but they're at that level, they're still very far away. So now I'm sitting here viewing the circus of the past as needing to detoxifying. And oh my God, I love one of the things she says here is like, but your mind did not get the memo. And she just summed it all up, because it's exactly that. We're now working from this habitual body and mind. For me, it's also the body. I feel the pressure heavily in my body. I have a sinus thing going on. The belly's not that great. It's all flaring up in the physical as well, for sure. But we are overall detoxifying that fake complexity. It's absolutely fake. It's just ego based. It is something that our sensors, our receptors, through this detoxification, they have to recalibrate to a different accuracy, both actually, accuracy, precision, because we don't need to be pressed the way we were pressed before. A slight touch will suffice. The smells, the vision, the perceptions that we're going to have with our environment is at the new sensory level. And this complete detoxification through our mental factors, through our receptors, through our glands, all the chemistry and biology within us is literally reorganizing to this new life, to this new freedom. And that's the other card I got. I got freedom and illusion. And then this card, the threshold, beyond fear. And we're ready to be moving now into the realness of life, the authenticity of life and of who we are. And for that to actually happen, right, in our reality, our sensors have to recalibrate. I don't know how else to put it. And of course, that recalibration is going to have these flare ups like I had today, that you just wake up and there is this huge, intense sorrow. The difference, and how I know what I know, is that all this was happening within freedom, right? I'm still free. I'm still large, and yet there is this heavy emotion right into the heart, right? So where we're going is this place of life being way more simpler. And they go hand in hand, see, because our sensors have a more accurate level of reading and a more precise level of reading. We cannot handle the busyness and the stress that we've once were handling no problem. But now it's asking us to slow down because everything is a lot more potent. The touch, the taste, our vision, our hearing, the way we're feeling is all amplified. And life will also adjust to that. We don't need heavy lessons in our life. A touch on the shoulder for a correction is sufficient for us to understand the same message that before was a slap in the face, right? So there's going to be this adjustment to the quiet, being with ourselves, being in this different way of moving about this planet. And so the more you can explore into it, look into it, feel into it, the more you can learn about this new way of you. But it goes hand in hand so closely with the outer reality, right? So when the doors closing, so the tendency then is to quickly jump into this conclusion that my opportunities are closing. And yes, maybe the smaller opportunities or opportunities that no longer support your past person, those opportunities start closing, possibly for the one opportunity or maybe the two, whatever serves you now, but also best remains. But with that focus, you have a lot more freedom, you have a lot more time to spend to your choosing, to spend toward your luxury. And it will be a difficult transition if we're not paying attention to that, if we're not paying attention to learning and wanting to discover the new me, the new world unfolding, because they're gonna almost happen at the same time. The lag between manifestation and that manifestation showing up is going to be so short that it's hard to realize that we're creating the world. It will feel like the world is being created. And now more and more of us are joining into that awareness that yes, we are definitely building this new world collectively, and we're leaning on each other. So as we lean into that, the more reassurance we can get day by day. Otherwise, it's a shock. It's a big shock when you might be feeling alone or forgotten by spirit, because you are starting to feel your self-worth and your self-esteem starting to blossom. You are truly blossoming in all these areas of your life, yet your realm, the 3D reality around you, is not showing you that worth. Well, it's actually simplifying, and what is truly important, what is truly authentic, what will provide you the experience of a reality at the new simulation level, at the new intensity level, is being created as we speak. And so it's going to be um, a big, huge learning experience for all of us. But remember, I do rely on you. There are days when I 100% rely on you out there to carry me on your strength. And I do want you to know that you can lean on me to carry you on my strength. And oh my God, I want to read you something that Alana wrote at the end of this card. Take the running leap. There is no darkness and light for you anymore, just life, living, free and clear. I'll be running and flying beside you. We'll soar and dive and rise together. Let's play. And that right there was exactly how I perceive things. And obviously she does too. I know so many of you do too. I'm leaving you with this. Sit with me a little bit longer after the movie. Take it all in, and I'll see you on the path.